And there, just to confirm once again, in the Fitzgibbon Cup, NUI of Galway claiming the title after extra time, and that against Waterford IT. Well, now, it's hard to believe, but in 2 weeks' time, Croke Park will close again to the hosting of soccer and rugby matches. Well, the deal that was agreed at the GAA Congress in 2006, and it initiated with that first Six Nations rugby match between Ireland and France in February of 2007. That will come to an end on March the 20th. Well, history will reveal that the decision was quite dramatic, but equally, the memories over the last 4 years will be talked about for generations. Well, the debate, of course, over the opening of Croke Park to soccer and rugby was a controversial one. But now, as those codes return to Lansdowne Road, we ask, what effect did the opening of Croke Park have on the GAA, and how will Croke Park now sustain itself financially? With this special report, here's Marty Morrissey.
Croke Park, the epicentre of the GAA world, has experienced change in the last 5 years like never seen before. An association that was founded in 1884 for the promotion primarily of its own games opened its doors to other sports. It was historic, it was unique. It sparked heated debates at GAA Congress.
If we're not prepared to stand up and follow what we are supposed to believe in, and that is our association and our contract, what we should do, Uachtaráin, instead of spending money elsewhere, buy an incinerator and throw the rule book into it and get rid of it altogether, because we're doing away with the constitution, as far as I'm concerned, of our association.
And on TV current affairs programmes like Primetime.
Croke Park is a magnificent stadium and the jewel in the crown of the GAA. They guard it jealously though, and their Rule 42 prevents it from being used by other sports such as rugby or soccer.
In 2004, 11 motions were proposed regarding Rule 42, but were all rejected by the Motions Committee at Croke Park. A year later, the counties led by Sligo had its motions approved. The vote in favour of opening Croke Park was 227 to 97. It meant the gates at headquarters were now open to soccer and rugby, while Lansdowne Road was being redeveloped. Since February 2007, the people of Ireland have enjoyed a journey of moments of historic proportions in Croke Park. Do you remember a man called Stephen Ireland scoring the Republic of Ireland's first goal in Croke Park?
Ireland against Coyne. Stephen Ireland, 1-0! And how appropriate that the first soccer goal at Croke Park should be scored by a man called Ireland.
The first try for Ireland was scored by another Cork man, Ronan O'Gara.
And it's O'Gara! And they've created something! And it's wonderful to watch as Croke Park erupts for an Irish rugby team.
For the first time, God Save the Queen was sung as Ireland faced England in an RBS Six Nations match. On March 20th, Ireland will play Scotland in the final Six Nations match of the season. After that game, the gates in Croke Park will close once again to soccer and rugby. So has it been good for the GAA? What is the feedback around the country? The Ulster Council Secretary Danny Murphy has quite a pragmatic view.
I think the use of the stadium for international rugby games in particular has opened up Croke Park to the world and to the unionist community in the north who have attended those games, and I think it has demonstrated an association with a much broader concept of a future for this country, a shared future as they call it up here, where people can see what the GAA is all about in our stadium and made feel comfortable and welcome there.
The GAA will have earned over €36 million as a result of soccer and rugby being played in Croke Park. Would some of the people who said no 5 years ago still say no?
I would shut them tight the way it was. I'd revert. I would expect that the commitment given when the previous motion was being debated, that we'd return to the status quo when Lansdowne Road opened its gates, would be honoured now. And I think that's what we should do and concentrate on promoting the games for which the association was founded 125 years ago, promoting hurling and football in particular.
That is despite the amount of money that the GAA have gained over the last couple of years.
Yes, despite the enormous amount of money. But Marty, you know the old proverb, money is the root of all evil. These old proverbs were very wise, I think. And I think money isn't everything. And I don't think any organisation, especially the GAA, should sell its soul for money.
The GAA, under the guidance of the then President Nicky Brennan, were clever enough to put all the money accrued from soccer and rugby into club and county infrastructural projects. In Munster, for instance, 4 centres of excellence are planned. Tulla and County Clare, Rathkeil and Limerick will each get a financial boost of €1.8 million each. Carriganore in Waterford and Dr Morris Park in Thurles will receive slightly less. Furthermore, there will be €1.5 million made available for club projects. So really, should the GAA be keeping its gates open?
I don't think we can afford to close our doors anymore. I think that would be a retrograde step. That's my personal opinion on that, and I think it's the opinion of most people. Opening up Croke Park, as we say, has been a good thing for the GAA, and I think that would have to continue. In what context, as yet, I don't know.
Listen, there's one thing money can't buy, and that's the goodwill of people. And that's what we achieved. I mean, we couldn't stand and watch people flying to Cardiff, to London and to Paris. And it was a great idea. I mean, where would we get 1.8 million in the current economic climate? We just wouldn't.
The Munster Council Secretary Pat Fitzgerald is not worried about the loss of extra finance. For him, the GAA is all about community.
There's a serious challenge for us in the urban areas, I accept. I believe we're starting to meet that challenge more now than ever. But I think once we continue to develop the ethos and develop the principle that the club is community, then the GAA will survive and develop and prosper.
So the GAA made millions of euro out of opening its gates to other sports like soccer and rugby. The general reaction nationwide is quite positive. It was the right thing for the GAA to do. But now the question, of course, is what's the strategy, what's the plan for the GAA for the next 5 or 6 years?
Clearly we've got to look at other events and other, show some imagination, and Peter McKenna and his team are already working on that, but it certainly wouldn't be our intention to have the stadium closed from September to March. But as I said, we're looking at various ideas at the moment, but clearly it's a big stadium, and we need to get the best possible value from it for the association.
Croke Park as a stadium has to continue to make money for the association. But we believe we have a product and a facility that has proven itself and has attained extremely high standards, not just in terms of Irish conference scores, but in terms of international conference scores. And we would hope that the brand that is Croke Park will continue to attract people to use the stadium. Whether other games come back or not, I suppose that's going to be the big debate. Congress will take a view on that this year. But certainly it's going to be different, more challenging, but I believe the people are there who have the wherewithal to make Croke Park and continue the commercial success that it has been.
With the gates in the Aviva Stadium on Lansdowne Road opening shortly, will leaving Croke Park be an emotional experience for the visitors of the last few years?
It's only now that it's going to be shut that this generation of rugby players are really proud to have played in Croke Park, because it's one of the stadia of the world, and obviously it represents so much to Irish tradition and history, and I think an awful lot of us are very proud to play for Ireland, and there's a lot of GAA culture where I come from, where a lot of the boys come from as well, so we were very aware of what sacred ground we were going on to, and having played in it and experienced the whole emotion, I think it was a fantastic 2 years, I suppose, of our life.
Marty Morrissey reporting there. By the way, there's a Waterford motion before annual Congress calling for Croke Park to remain open on a limited basis, so we'll have to wait and see what exactly happens there. Well, now, as usual here on the programme, before we go, we're going to fill you in on what's coming up during the week in terms of television sport. M&S tomorrow night with a full review of the weekend's events in the League of Ireland. That programme is on the air at 7 o'clock. And that's followed straight away by Against the Head, which fills the same function for all of the rugby fans, and the focus this week is on the Magners League. And on Wednesday night, it's Champions League. Our live game is from Old Trafford, where Manchester United will be hoping to make the quarterfinals at the expense of AC Milan. OK, enjoy all of that here in studio. I was joined tonight by Bernard Flynn and also by Declan Ruth. My thanks to them. Next week here on the programme, more from the Allianz National Football and Hurling Leagues. I hope that you'll be able to join us. In the meantime, do take care.